Hello again, I am Blunty, and this is the latest Geforce GTX 960 on the block. And if you've got a mind to build up or upgrade a compact, powerful, but still budget-friendly and sexy-looking gaming PC, then heads up, because this is going to tempt you. Oh, and just to tease you, you're going to want to be subscribed if you're not already, because I'll be giving this card away to one of you out there in an upcoming video real soon now. So, above the already well-known, surprisingly potent pixel-punching prowess of the Geforce GTX 960, there are 4 core things that push this particular GTX 960 into the want column. Firstly, it's one of them there beefed-up 960s with its memory doubled up to 4 GB over the standard 2 GB. Items 2, 3, and 4 on the list are all due to the fact that it's an extreme gaming flavour out of Gigabyte's stables, because that means it has a chip pulled from Gigabyte's GPU gauntlet binning system, so you can feel confident in its great overclockability potential. It comes out of the box with a nice chunky overclock of 10% over stock clocks. And of course, with the new Xtreme line from Gigabyte, also come the fancy RGB LEDs. But not just on the logo, encircling the fans too. Admittedly not useful for everyone's case, but if you've got a case where the GPU mounts vertically via an extender, like my Thermaltake Core P5 build here, or frankly more likely for a GTX 960 build, a compact cube-like case where the MOBO sits flat on its back so the GPU sits up on show by default. In either case, out of the box, it's a very slick-looking card. The backplate is lovely and clean, elegant, subtle, brushed look, and it's a nice stiff metal affair too, hooray! And the branding is kept nice and restrained to the nice and thoughtfully monotone Xtreme Edition badging. The PCB features an aerospace-grade PCB coating to protect it from dust and moisture and corrosion, and the other componentry on board is the same high-end stuff they use in the Titan X. There's a pair of LEDs on the 8+6 PCIe power connections which will flash to instantly and visually alert you of any issue with the power supply there. The Windforce 2X cooler with its counter-rotating fans, which also feature a full fan stop function, so at low loads the card simply stops the fans altogether for an utterly silent experience while you're at the desktop and whatnot. It also has big fat direct contact pure copper heat pipes, and it all adds up to an extremely quiet and thermally very well behaved card. Even under full load of a canned benchmark, I never saw the temps get above 63 degrees C or so, and it accomplished that without spinning up the fans past about 60%, which was very, very quiet. Under normal gaming loads, it was even quieter than that, and even in my extremely quiet new build, it was, for any practical purpose, simply silent while gaming. So obviously now is the point where we do the thing where I just let you hear it for yourself. And of course there's those RGB fans, the same fans which I love on my own Gigabyte Geforce GTX 980 Ti Xtreme Edition, and which feature as a showpiece in my newest PC build. Of course there's only 2 of them instead of 3 because duh, it's a far more compact card. But it does kinda make me want to build a mini-me version of my new big rig here. But anyway, away from my inspirations and aspirations, back to the review. As you can see, you've got the standard 16.8 million colour choices from the RGB LEDs, and you can set it as a single colour, you can have it stay steady, or flash, or slowly throb, or just let it elegantly glide through the spectrum. It's all pretty common fare for RGB setups these days. But one thing different from the Premier card in the Xtreme lineup, though, is the illuminated Windforce logo on the edge is gone. It's been replaced with an Xtreme Gaming logo, which I quite like, actually. It's a nice, crisp, and very clean-looking font, and it looks great lit up. And of course, it instantly sets it apart from all the other non-Xtreme Edition Windforce-toting Gigabyte cards. Now then, right out of the box with the stock overclock, it kicks Firestrike at around 6,769 points and does so without ever exceeding 62 degrees C. A thermal performance which is repeated with the Xtreme flavour of Firestrike and a score of 3,474. A Heaven Xtreme benchmark clocks in at 43 FPS and a 1,101 score, and again, barely brushing past 60 odd degrees while maintaining a practically silent fan speed. Valley Xtreme tells the same story. Nippy, quiet, cool. The Tomb Raider benchmark with ultimate settings turned up with Tress FX turned on pulls in a damn respectable benchmark of 63 FPS on average, dipping to 48, peaking to 78. The fresher Rise of the Tomb Raider with high preset and pure hair turned on in DX11 mode got an overall of 63 FPS. The harshest point of the benchmark pulling it down to 35 FPS and the max at 111 FPS. Interestingly, the DX12 benchmark was almost identical. In actual real-world gameplay, in the more demanding areas of the game at these high settings, the frame rate proved to sit more stably between 45 and 55 FPS for an extremely playable experience. Reaching a stable 60 FPS, if you like to lock it there with G-Sync or V-Sync or whatever, won't prove much of a challenge at all, and what you'd have to turn down a notch or two to get there wouldn't likely make an immediately obvious difference to the stunning prettiness of the game anyway. Moving across to Doom now, where unlike the third-person adventuring of Ms. Croft, it's much more vital to stay near or above 60 frames per second for the best gameplay experience possible. Well, between dips to the mid-50s and rushes up to the under 80 FPS mark in its stock configuration, this Gigabyte Extreme Edition Geforce GTX960 kicks Doom around in ultra settings very acceptably indeed, spending most of its time right around the ideal 60 plus FPS window. And in fact, you regulars around here may have noticed that's about 10 to 20 FPS above what I got out of the 2GB GTX 960 I used for my Doom Performance Shootout video benchmark testing thing a few days back. So, between the higher out-of-box overclock that this card has and the extra breathing room of the doubled VRAM, we can see the immediate and profound impact of this card. GTA 5 with the high preset also benefits from the extra memory, allowing you to turn up things like population density and population variety above what the stock 960 is comfortable with. I pulled in a nice smooth consistent gameplay experience in the mid to low 50s with some aggressive settings, and again it doesn't take much to nail it to 60 plus if you'd prefer. Witcher 3 ticked up into high settings and with the fancy but demanding hair effects turned on was pushed along from the mid-30s to the mid-40s. And one of my personal favourites, Just Cause 3, again with high presets ticked in, brings in an experience ranging from the high 40s to the low 70s, which is dead in the butter zone for a brilliant experience with this game. So yeah, conclusion time. If a Geforce GTX 960 is what you're after, Gigabyte's new Xtreme gaming flavour makes a highly tempting item. And by the way, what you've just seen isn't even the best it can do. In tomorrow's video, I'm going to show you what happens when I punch in a custom overclock and kick this particular chip in here and the memory along with it to its real potential. And spoiler alert, there's a significant kick up the pants to gaming just waiting to be unlocked here for free. Oh, and yes, after I'm done showing you that, I'm going to tell you about how you can win this particular card for your very own self. Meanwhile, thanks for watching. I am Blunty, and I will catch you next time.